Hello and welcome. In this video, let us create a contact form. Okay, so I want to have something like this, contact us, and when I click on it, I need to have this form. Okay, so where I need to enter first name, last name, email address, and I need to have the radio buttons, and then I need to type message and then click on submit. Okay, so I must be able to create this. So now let us do this. Let me go to this folder and let me go to pages folder and let me create a new text document. Okay, so I'll open this and I have already copied this. Okay, our skeleton, I can say. Now let me start creating a form inside this. So the title, let it be contact us. Okay, contact us. Let the title be contact us. So inside body we will be writing codes to get the form. Okay, so this is my reference here, this is my reference. Now, so it may seem this is very simple. Okay, it may seem this is very simple, but then the coding it takes time and it is a bit confusing. Alright, so let me try to make it easy for you. Now, forms start with form and end with form. Alright, forms start with form tag, starting tag, and ending form tag. Okay, now inside these two tags will be the data that makes up this form. Okay, now these are labels. All right, these are labels, and this is the section where we input the data. All right, so these are labels, just labels. So let us create how many labels? 1 2 3 4 5 labels. Okay, so let us do that. So labels are here. Labels are wrapped in between I cannot spell label. Yeah, labels are wrapped in between label tags. Okay, so we basically need how many labels? 1 2 3 4 5. So let me copy it 5 times. 1 2 3 4 5, and as you can see, the labels are inside form tags. Okay, so label is done. Now let me type in the label names. Okay, so this is what we want, correct? And what do we want here? We want your message. Okay, we want your message here. All right, so we have 5 labels. Let me quickly save it and let me open this. Where is it? Okay, it is saved. I have to save it as HTML. So let me save it as contact underscore us dot HTML. Okay, let me save it. So now when I open it, you can see it has come as first name, last name, email, did you, everything in a single line. We do not want this. We want the breaks to be added after each line. So you know the tag for adding breaks, BR tag, correct? BR and BR. So BR and BR. Okay, BR tags. So BR tags, let me save it and let me open it. Okay, let me open it. So all 5 have come in 5 lines. Okay, 5 lines. So for mentioning input, we have to use input tags. Input. Okay. Now this is only one tag. There is no ending tag for this. There is no this tag / tag for this. Okay. So input. All right. And let me copy this so that I do not waste your time. Okay. And then here. So now I have added input sections to all the labels. Okay. So let me save it and let me come back and refresh it. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 input sections for 5 labels. But then once again, the formatting is not proper. First name is here, last name is here. So we do not want it. So let us add breaks after each input section. Okay. So let me copy this, paste it after each input tag. So let me save it, let me refresh it, and I have this. Okay. Now this is done. I hope you have understood. Now comes the tough part. Now first we must link this to this. Okay. See, whatever we enter for the first name or whatever we enter in this box should be considered as first name, correct? So we will have a submit button here. When we click submit button, whatever we enter here should be considered as first name and then should be submitted. Whatever we enter here should be considered as last name and then submitted, correct? It should not be that whatever we enter here should be considered as first name and then should be submitted. It is not like that. So this and this are linked, this and this are linked, this and this are linked, this and this are linked. In the sense, this field is for this field is for this input field is for email, entering email. Okay. So we have to link them. And for linking, we use for and ID tags. So for comes in, okay, for comes in label section. So let me quickly copy this and paste in all the label tags. Okay, for comes in label section. In input section, we need to have ID tags. Okay, so you know how ID works, correct? So in input, we need to have ID tags. Okay, ID tags. Yes. Now whatever name you give here must be given here too. This is to link these two. So the input section, this input section should be linked to this label, first name, correct? So we use for and ID. So whatever name you give for ID here must be given for. Okay. So what can we give? Let us give FN. Okay, FN for first name. So same FN must be given here. So what is this? Last name. Let us give LN and LN here. Okay. And what is this? Email. Let me say email itself. And in for email. ID email and for email. Okay. What is this? Your message. I'll say message. Your message and I'll say message. Okay. So now let me save it. Let me save it and let me refresh it. So nothing will be displayed here. Nothing will be displayed here. We just linked the text box to the label. We link the text box to the label. That's all. All right. Now label is done. Label is simple. Okay. Label is simple. Input has two more attributes. One is name. And one more is type. Okay. So first let me say about name. Name equal to this. So this is what we need to use in all input tags. Now you have a name, your friend has a name, I have a name, my wife has a name. So names are used to recognize people, correct? Names are used to recognize peoples. Similarly, name here is used to recognize the input. Okay. Now, when we submit it, when we submit the form after filling, if we have to do any operations on the submitted data, then we need to be able to fetch the data, correct? And when we are trying to fetch the data, we need all these names. So right now we are not doing it. Right now we are not doing it. So I cannot show you it working. Alright. But we need names for input. Input boxes. Alright. Input boxes. So name, let me say last name. Sorry, first name. First name. So whenever I am doing some operation and I want to fetch first name, so I will use this name. Okay, first name. Next, let me say name is equal to last name. Okay, name is equal to last name here for last name. And then for email, name is equal to, what shall it be? Let it be email itself. Let it be email itself. It doesn't matter if this and this are same. Okay, do not worry about it. Now this, what is this? Let me give name as message. Okay, let me give name as message. Not message, sorry. Not email. This is not email, this is not email. Okay, I'm sorry. What is this? Yes or no? So let me give yes or no. Or no. Okay, yes or no. Yes or no. What is this? Yes or no. Yes or no. What is this? Yes or no. So this. Okay, this. So for and ID I'm using yes or no. Name also let me say yes or no. Okay, I'm sorry for this mistake. So yes or no. And then label, what is this? Message. So name, let it be name, let it be message. Okay, message. All right. So let me save it. Let me refresh it here. Even if I refresh, nothing changes here. So let us proceed. Okay. So yeah, we are halfway there. So label has only for tag or for attribute, not tag, for attribute. So input has name attribute, ID attribute, and then one more attribute which is type. Okay, type. Now let me quickly copy this type for all the input tags. Okay, for all the input tags. Now in the first name box, what should we enter? We must enter our first name, correct? So how do we enter, or what do we enter? We enter text. We enter text, correct? So the type is text. So what we mention using type is what kind of data do we input in the input box. So here we enter text data, correct? Here in first name box we have to enter text data, and so the type is text. All right. Next, last name. In the last name box, what do we enter? Once again, name, text. Text. Name is text. So here in email, what do we enter? We once again enter text. Correct? We enter text. So we will say text. Okay. Now this is not what we want, correct? Did you find our article useful? Correct. But then what we want is two buttons like this. These two are called as radio buttons. All right, radio buttons. So here input type radio. Okay, input type radio. So these two are called as radio buttons. All right, radio buttons. And here your message. Once again, we enter text here. We enter text here. but this is not similar to this or this. All right. So now I'm going to delete this. Okay. See this. Okay. I'm going to delete this. It is text area. Okay. And then closing text area. Now this is the tag. Basically the tag is only this much. All right. The tag is this. The tag is text area. Now this will get you this box. Okay. This will get you this box. But then we need to add attributes. Correct. So what attributes? Message, name, ID. Okay. Or name, for and ID. So ID and for should be same. Name to recognize the text area. So when you add those two, it looks like this. Okay. Now let me save it and let me refresh my page. Okay. So now you have first name, last name, email, and the radio button. We'll work on this. And then what is this? An area to enter data. Correct. So you can increase this or decrease it. Okay. Now you can get this using text area tag. Alright, text area tag. Now we have everything we want, everything that we want. Only thing that we need to work on is radio buttons. Now input type radio, name yes or no. Alright. So break, let it be there. What do I want? I want yes, no. Correct. So yes and no both are labels. So once again we need to use label. Okay, label. And then label close. So inside this we say yes. Okay. So let me save it. Let me refresh it. So yes. Okay. Yes. We want same thing for no. Correct. We want same thing for no. Let me copy this. Okay. Let me copy this. I'll tell you about it later. Okay. Yeah. And let this be no. Alright. I'll save it and I will refresh it. So yes, no. Yes and no. So I do not want this break here. Let me delete the break. Now let me save it. Let me refresh it. So it comes as yes and no here. Now let me add the break so that it will be easy for you to understand. Yeah. Okay. Now see. Let me save it. Let me refresh it. It comes as this. Now these two are radio buttons. Correct. Now I must be able to check only one of these. That means if I click on yes, yes will be selected. Now if I click on no, the selection of yes should be removed. So I'll select no, and so the selection of yes goes away. Now no is selected. Now if I select yes, no selection should go away. Correct? Now that is possible only when you have names. Okay? Names similar. Alright? See, name yes or no. Name yes or no. Basically I copied this line and I pasted here. Correct? Name of this and name of this should be similar or same. Only then this is possible. Alright. So ID you must change. So let me keep yes. Okay. Yes. And in label I'll add for equal to yes. Alright. For equal to yes. Here this is for no. So ID I will change to no. So label for is equal to no. So you know what id and for is. Whatever you give for must be given for id, correct? But the names must be similar. Now see, I'll say CCC, just random name. Yes, CCC or no, yes or no. Now let me save this and let me refresh it. See, now names are not same. So yes, I select yes, it gets selected. Now when I click on no, no too gets selected. Okay, no also gets selected. This should not happen. This is radio button and you must be able to select only one. Correct? For that to happen, as I said, the names of two radio buttons must be similar. Okay, only then it will come to know that both comes under same input type and only one of them must be selected. Okay, so I've saved it, so I've refreshed it and see it works. Okay, you can see it works. All right, I hope you have understood. Now let me delete this break and let me add it here itself, so that I have according to my design. Okay, here. Now if you see, it is typed as your message here and then type here is there. Okay, so we need to delete this and type the message. So we do not have type here. To get that, you just enter type here between text area tags. Okay, text area starting tag, text area ending tag. Between these two tags, type here. Okay, so let me save it, let me refresh it, and I have type here. Alright, so let me delete and let me enter. Now first name is done, second name is done, email is done, this is done, this is also done. Alright, now I have one more modification to do. If you see, let me talk about the modification later. Now I need a submit button, I need a reset button, correct? So I need a submit button, I need a reset button. What does reset do? I'll say this. Okay, so I've entered some values. So let us assume I change my mind, I want to delete all this. So instead of going to all the cells and deleting it, I can just click on reset. Okay, all the values will be reset to default values. Alright, which is nothing. So that is what reset does. Now let me add submit button. Let me add submit button. So input type is equal to submit. Okay, input type is equal to submit. That's all. It is as easy as this. We just say input and type submit in quotes. Don't forget the closing quotes. Okay, in quotes. When we say type is submit, it adds a button for submitting. See, now nothing is there. So let me save this and let me refresh it, and you can see it has given a submit button. Okay, submit button. Now let us assume that instead of submit written on this button, you want to have send. Okay, so you can change it using value. Okay, sorry, value is equal to, let us say send. Okay, value is equal to send. Now I'll save it. So instead of submit being written here, send will be written. All right, next let us add reset button. Input and what is it? Type is equal to reset. That's all. That is all there is to it. So when you say type reset, it adds a reset button automatically. So let us save this and refresh it, and the reset button comes here. Okay, now let me at c.com. Okay, yaaa.com. For email, I have written yaaa.com and I'll say yes. And now when I click on send, something happens. Okay, the value is sent now. The value is sent. All right. even though it was not an email ID, whatever we have entered was sent. Sent where? Sent for processing. Okay, it goes to the server. Do not worry about it. It is not. It doesn't come in the scope of this series. Okay, do not worry about it. We are sending it for further processing. Now that should not happen. We must enter only email addresses here. It should not take any other text values. For this, we use email instead of text. Okay, so this is label for email, label email. So input type, it should be email instead of text. Okay, now see, I will save this and I'll say, and if I say yayaya.com, and if I say yes, and if I click send, sorry, I did not refresh it. It gives me an error like this. Okay, please include, so please include an at in the email address. yayaya.com is missing an at. So this will be given only if you type email here. Okay, only if you type email here. If you just type text, which is basically text, we enter text here, but then if you say type equal to text, it will take any value here. Alright, so type email, and now it gets sent. Alright, now this is the form that you wanted. This is what you have. Now one thing is remaining. What is that? That is an exercise to you. So I need to have contact us button here, and when I click on the contact us button, it must take me to this page. Okay, and I need to have a back button here, and when I click on the back button, it must take me to this page. Alright, so that is an exercise for you. You must do it. Apart from this, there are many other attributes that I have not explained. Okay, because it is once again out of scope of this video. So in form we have mainly 3 attributes. One is name, form name. Just like we have names for input boxes, we need to have name for form. So let me say form 1. Why do we need form names? See, when we say a website, it may have many forms. One for contacting, just like what we did. One for registering to some event or something. Next, you may have an option to subscribe to a newsletter and so on. So you may have many forms on a website, and you must be able to recognize forms, correct? So name here is used to recognize the form. To do operations, of course, whenever you want to do operations, you call the form by its name and you do the operation. Okay, and then in form we have action. Okay, we have action. Generally it will be directed toward the PHP script. Okay, so what do we now what does this action do? It says what should be done when send button is clicked. Okay, what do we do with the data that is entered here when send button is clicked? That will be defined in action. Okay, that will be defined in action. So what action should be taken when send is pressed? So normally a PHP script goes here. Do not worry about it once again. And finally, in the form starting form tag, we have method. Okay, method, and there are 2 methods: post method, and one more is get method. Okay, one more is get method. Now once again, post method, what it does is it takes all these data which you have entered and it packs it into the HTTP request and it sends to the server. Okay, just know this, it takes your data and it sends it to the server. That is what post method does. Get method what get method does is it displays this information in this, okay, in this. So let me enter Manju, okay, at .com, yes, okay. Let me save with this. This is get method, sorry, control S for saving. This is get method, and yes. Now see what happens to the URL when I click on send button. So when I click on send, you can see first name which I entered here was Manju, it comes here. Last name Maya, it comes here. Email which I entered was manju@maya.com. So at is represented by %40. Do not worry about this. And did you find our article useful? Yes or no? So on. Okay. So whatever we had entered here will be displayed in this, in the URL. Okay, in the URL. Now this will be useful when you want to bookmark the link for any reason. Now if you go to google.com and if you search anything, you can see your search query in the URL. Alright. So if you do not know about it, do not worry. That is what it does, get method. So it takes all your data and puts it in the form, or it appends it in the URL which can be bookmarked. Okay. Whereas if you use post method, let me save it, let me refresh it, or let me close it entirely, and let me open contact us. So whatever you type will not be appended to the URL. So you can see URL is not changing. So all the data here will be taken and it will be passed through HTTP request to the server. Okay. So you cannot bookmark the link here. Get method links can be bookmarked, and so you should not use any sensitive information like passwords. Post method takes the user data and passes it to the server through HTTP request. Alright. Once again, there are many things to be done, which is once again out of the scope of this course. And as you progress your learning, as you progress through your learning, you will learn those things when it matters. Alright. It is not required to learn everything right now. So that's it for this video. Go ahead and make a form like this. So I told you it looks very simple, but it has all these codes, correct? So it has all these codes. So make a form, practice. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.